This video we're going to discuss dividing a whole number by a fraction. As always, please make sure that you have your graphic organizer and a pencil ready to go so you can take some notes. The first thing I want to talk to you about before we get any further is some vocabulary. There's an important word we're going to need to know. It's called reciprocal. Reciprocal is when you can take two numbers and you multiply them, you get their product as 1. For example, if you look at 2/3 times 3/2. If you notice, the difference between the two fractions is simply that the numerator and denominator have been flipped. But let's look what happens when we multiply. 2 times 3, numerator times numerator, is 6. Excuse me, let me write that here. And the denominators, 3 times 2 would be 6. And as you know, anytime you have the numerator and the denominator is the same number, that's equal to 1. Another example, 3/4 times 4/3. Again, the numerator and denominator have simply been flipped, but when you multiply across, you get 12 over 12. And when the numerator and denominator are the same number, it's equal to 1. So a reciprocal of a fraction is simply flipping the numerator and denominator around. Now, steps for dividing whole numbers by fractions. Our example is 4 divided by 1/2. Well, step 1, you write out the problem. Step 2, you rewrite the whole number as a fraction. So 4, you could write it as 4 over 1 or 4 ones. Step 3, you change the division symbol to a multiplication symbol. And then step 4, you change the second fraction to its reciprocal. So 1/2, the reciprocal, you flip the numerator and denominator around. So you'd have 2 over 1. Multiply, numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator, and then you reduce and you get 8. Now if we look at that, what this is telling you is if you had 4 whole, in this example rectangles, and you want to know how many halves there are. So if I divide them all into half, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 halves. So 4 divided by half would be 8. Please stop the video here and make sure you write all this down on your notes before you continue. Now let's do some more examples together. Here we have 6 divided by 2/3. First step, change the whole number into a fraction. So it would be 6 over 1. Second step, change the division symbol to a multiplication symbol. Third step, the reciprocal of the second fraction. So instead of 2/3, we would write 3/2. Then you multiply. Excuse me, 6 times 3 is 18. 1 times 2 is 2. Then you reduce. 18 halves can also be written as 18 divided by 2, which is 9. So 6 divided by 2/3 would be 9. What that means is if we drew out 6 whole and saw how many groups of 2/3 there would be 9 groups of 2/3 to equal 6. Go ahead and stop the video. Make sure you write all your notes before you continue. Let's do another one together. This is 10 divided by 3/5. First step, change the whole number into a fraction. Second step, change the division into a multiplication. Third step, write the reciprocal of the second fraction, and then multiply. 10 times 5 is 50. 1 times 3 is 3. Then reduce 50 over 3. In other words, we need to take 50 divided by 3. 3 goes into 5 one time. Subtract, bring down. 3 goes into 26 times. Be 18. Subtract. Now your remainder becomes your numerator and your denominator is your divisor. So it would be 16 2/3. Go ahead and write this down before you go on. Let's do another one together. Here we have 9 divided by 4/5. First step, we need to take 9 and turn it into a fraction, 9 over 1. Change the division to a multiplication and write the reciprocal of the second fraction. Then you multiply. 9 times 5 is 45. 1 times 4 is 4. Then reduce. In this case, it's improper, so we need to take the numerator divided by the denominator. 4 goes into 4 one time. Subtract, bring down. 4 goes into 5 one time. Subtract. Remainder is the numerator, divisor is the denominator. So we have 11 and 1/4. This is going to be our last example we're going to do together tonight. 12 divided by 1/3. First thing you need to do, change the 12, the whole number, into a fraction. Change the division to a multiplication. Reciprocal of the second fraction. And multiply. And 12 times 3 is 36 over 1. Reduce, you get 36. So 12 divided by 1/3 would be 36. Very good. I hope you understand this. If there were any questions, please make sure you asked next time we discuss this in class. The magic word for this video is Mr. Stoddard. Please make sure you write that on the first page up in the top right-hand corner. Good job, and we'll talk to you later.